Hi, my babies. Let's read. Say hi to Abu. Say hi to Tigger. They're going to help me read. When Rubin plays. In a small town by a big forest, there was a little orchestra. A little orchestra that played beautiful sounds. Rubin loved these sounds. They drifted around him and lifted him up, warm and light. Rubin felt like flying. He watched Isabel, his older sister, play in the orchestra every day. Please, maestro, may I learn to play as well? The maestro put a violin in his hands. Rubin raised the bow and... the violin howled. The young musicians clapped their ears and giggled. Isabel covered her gentle smile. Hush! The maestro sliced his baton through the air. Practice, Rubin, and you'll soon play with us at the concert. So Rubin sat in the very back, practicing quietly, so as not to disturb the others. After the day's practice, the young musicians packed up their instruments and walked home, down the dusty path. Rubin went the other way. He went into the forest, somewhere away where he could practice alone. Rubin took a breath and played. The violin screeched through the trees, but Rubin continued to play alone. His violin shrilled and uneven. Meow. Rubin was not alone. An audience had gathered silently on light paws, their ears sharp and alert. Bright yellow eyes followed the movement of Rubin. Here went Rubin's violin. Meow went the crowd. The louder Rubin played, the louder they howled. Back and forth they went, their sounds a leaping crescendo deep into the night. In the practice room, Rubin's violin squeaked. He played in the corner. He sounded muffled in the back so as not to disturb the others. Mumbled the maestro. A unique sound. The young musicians smiled, but they didn't laugh. They came to where Rubin sat. Here, Rubin, like this. Your arm a little higher, Rubin. Rubin played, Isabel whispered. Rubin continued practicing quietly. But at night in the forest clearing, Rubin played a thicket of cacophonious sound. I don't know how to... Meow. His violin was accompanied by a swelling chorus. Rubin's heart beat forte, forte, forte. Under the moon, his audience kept tempo as they sang, their tails waving back and forth like the maestro's baton. On the day of the orchestra's performance, families arrived dressed in their brightest shirts and ribbons. Visitors poured out from vans, murmuring excitedly. The crowd waited. The maestro raised his baton. The crowd hushed. Together, the musicians lifted their instruments and... beautiful sounds flooded the stage, clear, gentle, floating through the air. Rubin's violin perched unsteadily in his hand. He played too quietly, too small. Rubin, play, Isabel whispered in his ear. Rubin shifted in his seat. Forte, 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 his heart beat. He closed his eyes and thought he heard paws padding, which couldn't be because paws are silent. Rubin squeezed his bow, adjusted his violin, and played. Rubin's music cut through the air. A swell of noise and pause twisted through the audience. Oh my! A lady fan caught in the sound and lifted her off her seat. Harumph! A brown toupee flew back and away. Whee! Squealed a young girl. The audience jumped, feet hopping up and down among the flurry of movement weaving in and out between their seats. Rubin's playing continued to rise. All across the stage, the latecomers jumped and leaped, tails waving, tiny fanged mouths yowling. Even the townspeople danced, shimmying, twisting all around on the ground. The louder Rubin played, the louder the little choir howled, waltzing in rapture to Rubin's violin. Fortissimo, fortissimo! Rubin felt himself getting lighter and lighter. All, audience and musicians alike, were caught in the whirlwind of Rubin's sound flying. And with a final swing of his bow, the concerto ended. Everyone stumbled, scattered in new seats, many with new companions next to them, some on top of them. Forte, forte, forte. Only Rubin heard the tempo in his chest. The orchestra, the audience, and Rubin were quiet until... Meow. The crowd cheering, bravo, bravo, Rubin, and encore, encore, magnifico, Rubin, Isabel sighed. The orchestra members whistled and clapped. Rubin was surrounded by the sound. The maestro wiped his forehead. Stupendous playing, Rubin, he smiled. Over the noise of the crowds, hands clapping, ales swishing. The maestro raised his baton and Rubin and the orchestra played on. In a small town by a big forest, there is a little orchestra that plays beautiful sounds. Sounds that feel like flying. The end. Don't forget to subscribe.